Your love came in and thawed my heart. After a winter so cold, it left me frozen inside. You sang a song that unraveled me. The melody was enough to rewrite my story. There's no place I would rather be than in the light of your sun. It changes everything. There's no face I would rather see. You pull me out from the dust and you redefine me. Your love came in and thawed my heart. After a winter so cold, it left me frozen inside. You sang a song that unraveled me. The melody was enough to rewrite my story. There's no place I would rather be than in the light of your sun. It changes everything. There's no face I would rather see. You pull me out from the dust and you redefine me.
Hey everybody, Jay Shalansky here with the Fifth Trooper podcast, and we are on the Fifth Trooper Network stream. I'm joined by Mike Berry
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
and Brendan Franz, the Marshal, the High Marshal.
Good evening, everyone. Or whatever time it happens to be in your locale.
We got Evan back there. Everybody can see Evan dancing in the background. Kyle and Luke are working on their grudge match right now, and so we are cutting back and forth between that. So I'll take a look at that right now. So what do you guys think so far? We got Northeast Open all set up. We're getting ready to go tomorrow morning. How do you guys feel?
I think we're gonna have a good time. My only concern, Jay, is I was told there would be beer, and there is no beer yet.
Yeah, what's up with that? Come on.
Dude, it's set up. There'll be beer.
Okay.
It'll be here.
I don't know about you guys, but generally I involve beer in my setup.
Right. Yeah. Beer should be part of the setup. So that's going into my post-mortem notes for things that we need to do better next time.
Yeah.
We need beer during setup.
All right, fine.
Yep.
And for those of you watching back at home, if you could just tell us how we're looking and sounding, we'd appreciate it. We are just running a test for tomorrow's stream, and we want to make sure that the stream looks good, that the audio is good. So go ahead and write something in chat if you feel like it's going well. We'd appreciate it. So we got Kyle and Luke going at it here. This is the world's grudge match. This is the no snipers jankless match, right, Mike?
It is. And we actually, I think Kyle's over there talking to Luke Eddy right now, hanging out on the edge of the table.
Oh yeah, Luke Eddy's here. That's another thing that's happening right now too.
Gotta love having special guests.
Right.
And that beautiful mud table is a combination of our mud mat and some terrain from Skull Forge Studio, Jordan, and also a ship, the ATST hauler, made by Jim Martin, and he also provided some of the terrain on that table too. So it's a real good combination of terrain builders.
Jay, let's talk about those shells there here for a minute. So we were looking at those.
Yeah.
Those are hollow on the inside.
They sure are.
But to the dismay of many players this weekend, they may discover that there is no way to remove the roofs on those.
Yep.
So I think there's going to be a real challenge for players who maybe want to try and utilize the interior there. So that might be something that the players are going to have to talk about before they start playing is how do they want to interact with that? Are they going to treat the whole thing as impassable? You can't go inside it at all.
Yeah.
So, I think realistically, if somebody wanted to say throw a Sabine just inside the entryway, that wouldn't be too bad. But the reality of players trying to move under those is going to be pretty challenging.
Yeah, I would agree. And, you and I talked about this before, but for the listeners at home, instead of marking down all the terrain and what it is at every table, we're actually going to go on player calls. So whatever the word is at whatever the agreement handshake is at the table, that's what we're going based on.
Absolutely, and again, we're gonna have a good, fun, casual. We're gonna be competitive, but this is gonna be a fun event, and
Yep.
so really, the job for us this weekend, at least as far as settling disputes, is just going to be that. Like, if two players can't agree on something, then we'll come over, we'll resolve it, and we'll get them back on their merry way. But man, hands off. Like let's just roll some dice, have some fun, and play with some plastic space dolls.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of that
Toys.
going on.
Space dolls.
Yeah.
Toys.
I like my dolls.
Okay.
So-
I like my toys.
Okay.
So Mike, what do we see going on the table here?
We have an Imperial front pretty much moving in. So we're playing Recover the Supplies. Kyle is set up pretty well with Sabine over there on the left. She's kind of creeping in towards that middle objective. This game's really going to come down to whether Luke's range 4 Death Troopers and Bosk can kind of hold Luke's forces at bay. And we'll see. Luke has set himself up so that his stormtroopers can kind of melee Sabine if she gets in too close. We'll see how that goes. I imagine Kyle's just kind of looking to get her in there, get a bunch of dodge tokens on her with Legacy of Mandalore, and then get out. It's also possible he's kind of baiting Luke into walking into explosions,
Yep.
which wouldn't be terrible. We'll see. Sabine's only been out for, a week now?
Yeah.
So we got Sabine and Bosk, and we'll see how that goes. Luke's got 3 range 4 options here in this army. While he does not have strike teams, that's still a pretty potent force at that type of range.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be real interesting. We've been having this conversation all over all the social media and the Discord about what's the game look like, what's the meta look like without snipers, right? And so this is a perfect example of no sniping and what you can get, what's the best you can get out of the remainder of the units out there.
Yeah, I mean, once you take snipers off the table, there's a lot of options in the special forces slot, right? So
Yeah.
Death Troopers being one of the better ones.
So Brendan's leaving us now. He's got some important matters to attend to.
He's going to find that beer is what he's doing.
Oh, is that what it is?
I have no idea.
Perfect. Yeah, for those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Like we said, this is just kind of a practice round for us. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We'd love to hear from you. Actually, tomorrow, David from Notorious Scoundrels and Evan from the 5th Trooper will be running the stream for us. And so, I'm sure they'd love to know how they're doing tomorrow and the next day. Also, if you didn't see, we posted, Mike actually posted up on Facebook. Luke Eddy is here this week. We're going to have him on stream tomorrow. But he also brought some pretty special stuff that he's going to be showing and telling us on stream. And so you're going to want to tune in for that. It's going to be a big deal.
It's going to be a huge deal in the spirit of Syracuse, New York.
Yeah, there you go. It's going to be the next coming of salt potatoes.
There we go. Speaking of salt, we're playing Hostile Environment this game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of suppressive in Luke's list.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough beats for Kyle, I think, here. Fortunately, there's a ton of terrain he can touch.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's something too. We really took a look at it, all the tables, and we'll be taking pictures of them and posting them as the tournament goes on. But just really correcting for lack of terrain that we've seen in the past, and really trying to go not the other way, but make it correct amount of terrain.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of these tables are probably in the 30 to like 45% of the table terrain,
Yeah.
marker. And I think that that's really where the game is kind of headed generally. Rebels don't do super well if there's no heavy cover to hide behind, and that's a really big deal.
Yeah, so somebody from the chat there said that we need a little bit more audio, a little bit more gain, so I'm going to try to correct that. Let me know if that works for you guys out there.
Yeah. Check. So, yeah. So as far as the terrain goes, we've got a lot of terrain here. We've got a couple indoor boards, some Tatooine stuff. A lot of some of the generic stuff. We've also got a really cool board that has a bunch of lava on it.
Yep.
Which is real excellent. I think
Yep.
is that a Jim Martin masterpiece?
It is, yeah.
So we've got that going on. Any other boards you want to call out?
Well, I'd like to call you out first. They said you're a little quiet on stream, so if you want to get closer to that mic, that'd be great.
Closer to the mic, he says. I'm practically eating it, Jay.
Yeah, well, look how close I am compared to you.
Well, I just don't like to be close to things. It's not a thing I
No,
do.
that's fair. So, yeah, some other boards, people that brought in boards. So we had Skullforge. Jordan at Skullforge did 2 boards, part of the mud map that you're seeing now. He also did this amazing junkyard map. We also have boards from Imperial Terrain, so Dave over at Imperial Terrain. And we also have boards from Legion Terrain. They also did 2 boards.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Jay, but I'm pretty sure the boards from Imperial Terrain are for sale.
Yeah. So somebody says cuddle that mic. So yeah. So one of the neat things we're doing this time around for this show is that a number of the boards are for sale. So all the stuff from Imperial Terrain, all the stuff from Legion Terrain, and Jordan's board are for sale.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks just like a lot of posturing. I don't even think they've rolled any dice yet.
They definitely haven't, because we would have seen, I think, a sweet dice overlay that we got going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, so this isn't, for those of you listening right now, this isn't any actual dice. This is just to give you a example of what the dice will look like when they roll. So you can see the command card overlaid and the dice roll overlaid. So that's kind of what we're going to try to do moving forward. Is we'll have the dice overlaid over the play area when you want to see it.
Yeah, should be good. And they're not just going to pop up on there, right? They're going to you're going to see them roll.
Yeah, as long as we time it correctly. Yeah.
Sweet.
The problem is if they leave the dice there, we got to turn it off, right? 'Cause then you can't see the play.
Yeah. What is Luke Cook doing? He's trying to move over that big mound. I don't think that's going to work out for him. It is very tall. Seems like a clamber check to me.
Yeah, I would make it a clamber check.
Sort of looks like they're calling it difficult terrain, though. Yeah, so we've got Evan Bulris joining us here.
How's it going? Oh, hey, we got some activity in the chat. All right.
Yeah, buddy.
Is that my boy Michael?
Yep.
Prepping to come tomorrow.
Yeah, he's driving up in the morning
Oh, geez. Okay.
from
Power to you, man.
Pennsylvania,
Where
Scranton.
Scranton. Yeah. Fortunately, the drive up from D.C., which was through Scranton, wasn't too bad, so it should be a clean 2 hours, though I imagine he's got to leave pretty early.
So how's the war going so far? I was out chatting everybody up.
Nobody's really fired a shot at this point.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
it's just posturing.
Though those death troopers have taken up position on top of that hill,
Oh,
which
they-
looks a little bit questionable to me. As far as maybe that's Luke just wants Kyle to just shoot them, but we'll see how that goes down.
Sorry, So Evan and I are just switching places here because we're going to go ahead and have Evan run everything.
We're playing musical chairs. There's that sweet dice roller. Oh man,
Wow,
did you guys see that?
That's a lot of heads. Oh boy, Kyle.
That looks like a death trooper shot to me.
So, what microwave setting do you think he uses? Popcorn lets them bubble a little bit. Just, put a little water on them, baste them.
Yeah, I don't know. Was that with or without an aim token? No aim token. Nothing like the smell of burnt rubble in the morning.
Kyle's gonna go ahead.
All right, come on.
Is this a Sabine?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God.
yikes. Big yikes. Big
Dude.
yikes from the crowd.
Bum, bum, bum.
Sometimes grudge matches aren't actually for grudges.
Yikes. That feels bad.
Should have played Legacy of Mandalore this turn, Kyle.
Yeah.
So we're just working out some stuff on the stream, so it might be quiet for a second here.
I'm gonna move that camera because
All right, sorry about that, folks. We're monkeying around with the stream a little bit. Yeah, no pressure. It's cool. Hello, Brian. How's it going?
That looks good.
All right, sorry about that, folks. We're just kind of still monkeying around with stuff. This is more of just a test stream to kind of get us all like lined up here.
Now this is a live fire exercise. is
Yeah,
what this is.
fair. All right.
No, we're
And
gonna-
we have a special guest.
Am I special?
You are absolutely special.
Well, here I am, fresh off the plane.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on. Wonderful. What's up, everybody? It's Endless here. We're here at the Northeast Open watching Kyle and Luke battle it out.
You missed a rough Sabine shot.
I thought I saw 3 blank results.
Yeah, you sure did.
That
It
was
was-
disgusting.
No thinking about it. That
Ooh.
is the reality of Kyle's situation here.
Oh man, I'm just now looking at the board from this behind the desk, and man,
It looks a little different,
it
doesn't
looks much different.
Yeah.
Well, the Empire is pretty good at these trench maps, and we're seeing that now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stormtroopers balled up there in the middle board.
So I feel like Kyle's idea here was he was going to last first with Sabine to kind of get that recover box out of there, but
Yeah, it's not looking good.
well, it's questionable to me if he's going to be able to reach the box in one move and then pick it up or not. If he's able to do that, he might have an opportunity
guys.
to explosions
there it
out
is.
of there.
Oh, jeez, again.
A 5-hit roll. Natty 5 hits coming out.
This
from
boy
these
doesn't
dice.
even need aim tokens.
Yeah, I don't need aim tokens when I got dice like these, son.
Oh, gosh.
Yo. Well, we saw some blanks there.
Yep.
Yikes.
I mean,
These dice allegedly have paint on them. I'm just not sure. I didn't double check.
it looks like he's firing at Chewbacca,
Ah, yeah,
frankly. Or
okay.
this was a Guardian roll, I think,
Yeah.
maybe. One of those was a Guardian
So,
roll.
do you think Fleets would have been great here with Ready 1? Would Ready have actually been a good ability here?
Maybe. It's this is one of the better maps for it, for sure. And I will say that there are several tables here this weekend that fleets look like they're gonna just wreck things on.
Yeah, I mean, just next to this table we have a Jetta-esque board, and Gordon Chase is rocking triple fleets
Trip
behind
fleet?
Sabine Wren.
Trip fleets, no shotguns.
Yeah.
That's I had to question him. Like, are you sure? Like,
Yeah.
Did you forget some models? Do you need some?
Yeah, I definitely am on the train of if you're taking fleets, you're taking that Pierce 1. But
Yeah, you just gotta. Like,
yeah.
I can't see a way around it myself.
It's so good.
it is very good.
Yeah, Pierce is ridiculous. I mean, we could go down this rabbit hole. This sniper.
Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it. Let's
yeah.
go down the rabbit hole.
Okay, Pierce is fantastic, and
Is that the end of the rabbit hole?
possibly.
It's tough because like when you fire at something with a big vehicle, right, like an ATST or something, and it doesn't have Pierce, and they block it all, you're like, oh, all right. Then a shotgun shoots them, they go down, you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, what Pierce gets around is like the averages, right?
Sure, yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, that's why it feels good, because you always at least get something, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Right. You know, I mean, on average, the ATST gun should blow up a squad, you know. But if it doesn't have Pierce, sometimes they just, you know, roll super hot over here like Luke Cook, and it just, you know, they roll out against you, and it's kind of, you're wishing you had that Pierce in your pocket.
yeah, even that's why I prefer fleets over the Z6, personally, just because of that one Pierce. So sometimes I'm like, well, at least I got one.
How do you,
And then
you're willing to give up that range 1 band for,
I am actually. So I like, when I build my deck, I like to at least always try to get limited viz. And I'll give up everything else if I can get limited viz, because that lets me run up and actually get into position. The problem is, right, like Ready 1 is rarely used. Using it against an Imperial army with range 4 feels bad because they'll just shoot it off before you get there.
absolutely.
So it's tough.
So we saw Kyle double moving some rebel troopers into the difficult terrain there, not shooting. And looks like Luke counting up the activations on the board that have already passed, totaling up his Lang and Wait 8 aim tokens. for
Holy
Lang and
smokes.
Waits.
Yeah, buddy. There's been a lot of talk about lying in wait, you know, on Facebook and stuff.
And is this? I think Bosk is doing it here. Yep. So here it comes. We got one red to start the party. Double crit
here
on the
we
first
go.
rollout.
Yep.
7 left.
Yeah. Okay.
6
yep.
left. 5 left. Picking up the red to fish for crits. 4 left.
I mean, he's doing the right thing. That's
Yeah,
that's
it
the right
is.
thing.
It is.
There-
It's just like, holy smokes.
And the red die is the most consistent of them. So re-rolling it, there's not really a negative drawback.
3
See,
left.
and then
There it
he
is.
rolls out the crit. Right?
Jeez.
2, 1.
Oh man, are we gonna see
And-
it?
No.
Are we gonna see it?
Okay, so
4.
4 crits.
See, you know, I don't know what the statistics are, but sometimes you only get 4 crits.
It's just 4.
It's just.
And that's a lot of blanks. I saw at least 3 blanks, which
Yeah.
means
Yep.
that Pierce is
Yikes.
coming through.
Yikes.
Yep, big yikes.
Delicious.
But it looks like that was on the FD turret based on those wounds, which means he did not lose the FD turret in 1 turn. That's crazy.
It was close.
Yeah,
though.
actually, I mean, if I had to pick, right, like, that's actually like the best result.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's in a great spot. Like he didn't lose like effectiveness from that shot. I mean, the FD turret is eventually going to die, right?
Sure.
But you know, as far as targets taking damage, not immediately having to pick pieces up off the board is pretty big.
I mean, this is like how we kind of try to respond to Bosk, I think, as Rebels now, is we're looking towards units that are less valuable than Bosk, and they don't lose effectiveness. I mean, emplacements are certainly that, like you've described.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aiming a shot like that at a core unit, a Courage 1 unit, say, you know, an objective grabber / doer. I mean, that FD turret isn't picking up any boxes.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
you know, one is interested in the target priority. I think maybe he's like, well, if I can invest as little as possible in killing this in place when I will.
Yeah.
I think maybe was the thought process there.
Totally. The other thing to
Jeez.
note about this game in particular
That's an FD shot, I believe.
is that every activation lost is just so much more this is just like such a big deal because we're not losing strike team activations. We're losing full health units.
Hey, we have a camera.
We got a
We
camera.
do have a camera.
Okay, 3 and 1. Sorry, still.
Jeez, Evan.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm blowing it.
Yeah, man. Oh.
That's not a great view. All right.
All right.
Well, so the two of you guys are pretty much running the show tomorrow, right? Is that what's going on?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Jay just like handed you guys the keys to the car and was like, do whatever you want.
Help me, Jay. I don't know how to drive stick.
It's fine. He's got a lot to do, so it's if this is like something he can delegate, he needs to, right? Like there's so many other things he's got to go around.
Yeah, for sure.
Unlike Adepticon, where he just kind of did everything, right?
That's Jay's MO, man. He
it
is
is.
just a wizard, space wizard, if you will.
No, man, he's a no half-ass. You get the full ass with Jay.
Yo, that Death Trooper fell over. It's dead.
Yeah, it's dead. Take it off the board. I love it. Exhibition games are fun because we get to shout at the players.
Yeah. Nothing on the line here other than pride.
Exactly. So I came into this game halfway through. Who has boxes? Because I'm trying to figure that out.
I don't
I
think
don't know.
anybody's
Yeah.
picked up boxes. There's
I see it might be one in the lower part of the screen.
yeah.
behind
So
the overlay.
there's one
Jeez.
there.
That is a Death Trooper shot, I believe, with
Yeah, I
a
think
natty
so.
5 right there.
Good golly.
Good golly,
Man,
Miss
he's
Molly.
on fire.
Is it a Death Trooper shot? There's 3 red dice in there, right? Or is that one on the left black?
That one on the left is black.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so his aim token not panning out there. 5 hits.
5 hits still good.
Still good. Pretty sure Chewbacca's going to have a say about where this damage goes.
The floor apparently is too. They're rolling out over there.
Yeah, they're...
All right.
Okay,
That's serviceable.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's not straight death. Oh no.
Oh.
He didn't even get to. Did he get to shoot?
It did.
He
Just
shot
once?
with the F.
Oh, it shot. He did. Yeah, exactly. So,
So-
Kyle confirming what I thought happened was he did do 3 wounds to Bosk there.
It's not gonna matter. You're just gonna heal him.
Well, he's just going to regenerate.
3 is actually the perfect number.
Right. He's like, yeah, exactly. It's a perfect number because now he gets all his regen dice.
Yep.
You're completely right.
I mean, certainly, as a boss player, you would rather not have to roll them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're taking wounds, 3 is the right number. For sure.
3 is also the number most likely to produce 1 result on average.
Yes, absolutely. Which is good, because you'll be healing, generally.
I don't know, man. I've known Kyle to pull off some 2 dice, 2 heal regenerates.
Yeah.
I've also known him to save against Sabine, or save against his own Dioxys when Sabine doesn't.
That is also very
Boss
true.
with a 6-up save, Sabine with a 3-up save.
Yeah, Dioxys actually might be really good on this board, frankly.
jeez.
As
Delicious.
explosions could also be very good. Are we seeing a Sabine activation right here?
Yep,
That's what
Sabine
it
is
looks like.
diving on the mid.
I think that's the right call here. Kyle, he's down in activation. Sabine's at 2 hit points remaining. Chewbacca's been like a guardian in the team. He needs to get that box and get out.
So if you're losing on attrition,
Yep.
make the game not about attrition
Yeah.
anymore. Because I got 3 and you got 2, buddy.
And the thing is that that big kind of mud hill thing in the bottom left there, he just grabs those boxes and run behind it, and then he can like explosions to cover.
Yeah, I was gonna
Covers
say if he still
behind.
has 1 pip, he can blast out of there.
Cleanup proceeding here. Sabine moving last.
We're on to turn 2. It looks like we're gonna get some command cards.
Turn
Jackpot.
2. Look at that sweet Vader
Yeah.
sleeve.
Get new sleeves or blending into the background.
Funny story. I actually bought a 1,000-piece puzzle of that picture.
Nice.
Oh, did you?
I never finished it.
Well, that's because it's like 60% black.
Oh, jeez. When you get to the cape, it's like I don't know.
But here's the kicker. Not only was it 1,000 pieces, it was also a mosaic puzzle of scenes from
Oh,
images
okay, that's
from the
pretty
movie,
rad. Yeah.
which is rad.
Oh.
COP catching Voracious. Bravo.
Han Solo coming in clutch.
Han, the most underrated commander in the entire game.
Dude,
I
for
don't
real.
know about
Yeah, I
underrated.
think so.
I think the most underrated commander in the game is Jyn Erso. Let's talk
Okay.
about that.
Okay. You want to talk about Jyn? All right. Let's
yeah.
talk about Jyn. Let's talk about paying
A lot of points.
a lot of points for not a lot. that's my issue.
She
with Jyn.
provides rebels with a Courage 3 command bubble.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's true.
She does have a Courage to command bubble. All right. So the alternative cards. Oh, it's a tie. It's munitions versus explosions.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy. So the interesting thing here is that I think Bosk is back far enough that he can't really like merciless munitions and not hit his own.
And
dudes.
Kyle,
How'd it go?
he wins the roll off.
All right. There it is.
So I believe if Kyle did the thing last turn, he moved and picked up the box. So he can just double move with Sabine this
Yep.
turn and get out of there. Though I imagine what's going to happen is he's going to throw down 2 mines, take the speed 1 move, and then jump.
Yeah,
Out
just
of
jump
there.
out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, presuming Sabine claimed, I mean, he's in a really good spot. Because that's going to be explosions, drag the box with your speed 1, and then jump away.
Yeah.
Super, super good.
And then if you want to chase me, just like you got to walk through these mines.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, she's.
She's in a great position to hit, like, most of Luke's army.
Yeah, I guess he might actually be able to just like toss him and detonate him during this activation, frankly.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, you're going to catch, like, 6 units.
Yep.
And Bosk
Including
is wounded.
Bosk?
Yeah, and a wounded Bosk. So, like, if good mines happen,
I mean, they've got Blast, right?
yeah, so
Yep.
no cover.
Seems pretty good.
You all didn't see it, but Kyle had a fist in the air pop off moment after rolling that block. I mean, I don't blame him, man. That's like those are the coin flips you got to get
Yeah.
to make the game yours.
I mean, and frankly, change of plans really got him out of a bind there because it wasn't a coin flip if he didn't have that.
Yeah.
Voracious would just steal it, and that is the beauty of COP right there.
An interesting thing that could have happened there is if had Luke anticipated that, he could have actually played Merciless Munitions as to counteract it, and then like he's kind of in a tight spot, or Kyle's in a tight spot at that point because he like if you COP the Merciless Munitions, like he definitely gets to go first.
So 2 thermal charges launching into the center here.
Woo.
And that is a lot of units that can see those charges.
Yeah.
There's no strike teams in this game, but there are definitely explosives.
A lot of
Yeah.
LOS. So in the new prize kit, or for the nationals, was it acrylic Sabine bombs or Sabine graffiti markers?
I think they're
I think it was graffiti markers.
graffiti markers.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
A Sabine something. That's all I
There's,
remember.
I think, a Sabine and Bosk unit card.
Yeah.
And then there's command cards for them. I don't know off the top of my head what the like other swag is.
I think it was the acrylic poison
Yeah.
and
Yep.
acrylic graffiti.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
They had like in the art, if I recall, I think it's like 6 poisons.
Yeah. Yeah. You
It's
give
a
you
lot of
plenty.
poisons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean you're gonna need it, right?
Well,
It was
Allegedly.
yeah.
Alex is charged.
I was getting worried because they were showing off all the nationals prizes for every other game they had but Legion. And I'm like, oh come on,
Yeah.
don't do this like they did the rally points.
Bombs are down. Sabine does her free move from explosions.
The real question is she going to be able to get over that hill?
Yeah, yikes. That's a good point.
He's heading to his right.
Don't
Oh,
forget
yeah.
that box.
Oh, that's brilliant. Hey man, does he really have to? I don't think he has to.
No.
I mean, at this point, even Sabine goes down. He's got so many guys who can pick it up. It's
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if she's in, at least in heavy cover and like, Chewie's within range 1, you know,
Yeah.
sacrificing Chewie to save a box carrier at this point is probably a good place to be.
yeah, agreed.
So with Sabine having finished her move, detonate triggers.
Oh, detonates a free.
Yes, it is free off that movement, and he's able to do both charges at the same time. So this is going to be a lot of dice and a lot of potentially death. There's at least one wound there. Gonna have to keep mental count. I mean, you could just read off everything as it comes, but
Yeah, that's fair.
these are all the detonate dice happening.
Okay, block.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, this is gonna toss down double suppression on like his entire team.
Yeah, so this is going to generate probably 12 to 14
Jeez.
suppression, possibly.
It's likely. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. There's
Okay.
another dead stormtrooper.
Very good.
And this is just the. Oh, he hit that squad in the back too.
Yep.
Yikes.
Got them all there.
No.
All right.
And then here's the flip side. Sometimes you just get a whiff.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
with-
Reds whiff. I mean.
Oh, man.
Again.
I've been telling Kyle, I'm like, dude, your dice are just not doing it for you, man. They're just blank out all the
There
time.
we go.
Okay.
So detonate thermal charge is detonate 2 thermal charge.
Yes.
So that is why he is able
Jeez.
to.
He just
I've
blanked
never
out on the third
yeah,
red
he
dice.
needs to
Yeah.
trade. He needs to trade those guys out because those things are cold as ice.
Sometimes my DLTs are like this, you know? I like double blank out. I'm just like, what's that? A 1 in
There we go.
1 in
This one.
64.
Yeah, I
Got
think
it.
so. Yeah, yeah, it is 1 in 64 to double blank.
Yeah.
Got it.
Very nice.
So if that was a death trooper,
If that was a Death Trooper, that is sad, but
I think it was.
I think that was. I don't see him removing any miniatures yet.
Yeah, that's death.
I also think that this is just the first bomb.
Yeah, that's also another good thing. How many hits is this? It's at least 7.
Jeez.
A lot of doubles happening here, and Luke's saving moderately well, but every wound that those bombs chip away is just icing on the suppression cake.
Sort of looks like he hit everything in Luke's army other than that stormtrooper squad that's up towards the top.
How many acti did Luke have? 10?
8.
8? Okay. Oh yeah, 8 because we're playing without strike teams, of
Yeah.
course. So the total acti numbers go down.
Oh, all right. So maybe that didn't hit as many squads as I thought it did.
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
still
like
a- yeah,
they
it's
did. They
still-
must have been rolling for each one. Wow.
Wow.
He needs caffeine and power.
And power.
That's our leader Jay Shalansky in the back.
The fearless leader.
Fearless.
The dauntless leader. I mean, Jay's unit card probably has compel on it. If I had to,
Yeah.
if I had to guess.
Easily.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Probably has relentless on it too.
Yeah, relentless. Relentlessly committed to bringing you the best Star Wars Legion content
Nice.
and the awesomest private attorneys. This is my first visit to the New York State Fairgrounds. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never been to this. I've never been to Syracuse even ever in my life. I'm a California boy.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't get out to the East Coast that often? So
Well, welcome.
thanks.
We'll try to take you to the nice spots.
Yeah. There was a
Wait, where are those?
There was.
You tell me and I'll take
funny.
it.
I drove in and there was a rainbow on the way here.
Oh, there you go.
And Rachel says to me, "Welcome to Syracuse. It's a cesspool."
You know, the worst part is this building's new.
Oh yeah.
So normally the fair is like a barns. It used to be like you'd walk through barns and things like that. Like if you go down, there's like all 4-H stuff does here. So there's like all sorts of like dairy and horse and
Oh yeah.
like rabbit. You can go see the rabbits. They do horse shows, and so you're actually seeing like this is like premier new. That's why when it said it was at the fairgrounds, I did a originally when I heard the change, and I'm like, okay, well,
you're a little skeptical.
a little bit, yeah, because I've been to the fair a few times, and I'm like, where though? And then
I
we
was a
actually
little
got this sweet, like, this is good.
Yeah, this is brand new, right? This
Yeah,
whole building.
yeah, I've never been in here before.
Right.
I've been to the fair every year, I think.
Yeah. Good place to go to concerts in the summer.
It is well lit. It is clean. And a great
whoops.
place to have a convention.
We've got
And a great
so
place
much
to have a league
space.
tournament. We do.
So much.
We are not hurting for space, and the tables look brilliant. Especially this
Mimba,
Mud.
not
mud bam.
Mud Planet,
Mud
not
Planet.
associated with
Nondescript.
Star Wars in any form, shape, or faction. Completely original IP.
Oh goodness, yes.
Quiet before we get the gas.
We'll turn the speaking of Dioxis, right?
Yeah,
They'll
jeez.
flood the room.
Nobody breaches IP.
Exactly. I'm not going in there with 2 Jedi.
Yeah.
Send the droid.
Oh my gosh. All right, this weekend's gonna be good.
Yeah,
All
it's-
right.
yeah. That's the summary here, man. The weekend's gonna be incredible. Saw the bounty board.
Bounty boards. I gotta put one up for anyone who loses gets a Star Wars sticker. As like you tried.
You try.
Yeah.
You have those. You just handy.
Yeah, I've got them. I got 100 of them. When I gotta bring them tomorrow.
We got to put them on camera at some point here.
Yeah. They're not you tried. They're just like generic like
Oh, they're
Star
just, like,
Wars.
generic, like, oh.
Yeah, they're just generic Star Wars. But I need to. I thought of the idea last minute. Unfortunately, I wasn't. Like many things that come to me, they come in a panic before the event starts.
So I'm left curious. So, change of plans we saw.
Yep.
The round at the start of this round.
Yeah.
So, that in a sense, because bidding for the center box was so crucial, forced out merciless munitions
Yeah.
because it was the only one pip
Yeah. So you had to do it. Yeah.
available. So Bosk is, from where I can tell, still like pretty well embedded in the Imperial position. So I don't know if Bosk is going to actually get to use his
a
bomb.
grenade. Yeah.
Yeah, is he going to actually get to bomb something? And that is unclear because the focus of the battle has now shifted dramatically out of the center and into the middle of Kyle's lines.
Honestly, it's so I used to think murder ball formation was just the way to go in this game, right? Like, and because Luke and his father, they do it so well, right?
Vader?
Yeah, yes, pretty much they all do murder ball real
No
well.
one plays Vader. Sorry, I had
but,
to get that in there.
Fair, also fair. Sorry.
No,
We-
please
we-
continue.
I
yeah.
saw a drone. I got distracted for a second. So like I used to think murder ball was such a strong formation. Like why spread your guys around when you can just put them all in one big group and then you don't have to worry about command range. They can focus fire down on something.
Right.
And so the first couple times I ran into it, I didn't know how to deal with it because there's no. Everyone's using snipers, no one's really using sabs at first, so I didn't know how good they were. So you'd see that roll up on you, like, what do I do? So you right, because normally when I played Legion before, I'd spread everyone out. I'm like, all right, you're gonna go over here and you're gonna do this, and now I'm like, I was doing the murder ball, but with Sabine and Bosk, they kind of say, yeah, do that, please, right?
That is very literally what happened to me at LVO, because my final game of the day was against Daniel Lupo.
Okay. Oh
And-
yeah. All right.
and
Yep.
I had never seen Sabs played properly before that moment,
No, I hadn't either.
and I realized, midway through my deployment, I probably should spread out, but
It was a little too late, right?
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And not only that, he punished me severely. He killed 2 strike teams off the
Oh,
top,
jeez.
which was just terrifying.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, wow, now I have to play down 2 acti.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But Luke saved my bacon on that game. I think Luke killed 3 units before dying.
Holy
that
smokes.
That made the difference. Yeah, it was one of those like Luke charges in, with an aim, rolls 4, re-rolls into 2 more, and
Nice.
kills the whole squad.
Nice.
Like it was, I think it was a fully manned fleet that got wiped.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Lightsabers do, man.
Yeah, Jets. Luke is, it's said a million times that Luke can kind of carry an army on his back when things get down, and the more and more I see it,
Yeah, he's tough to. As Kyle is fond of saying, the shackles of Skywalker are real.
yeah, no, for real. Like I did Han for a while, and Han and Chewie for a while, and now I'm just kind of playing generic commanders because I'm kind of in cruise control until the new factions come out because I really want to play CIS. Not that I'm not trying, but like we got a lot of new guys, and they don't. It's not fun for me to be like, well, here's my triple sniper ATSD, like
Right.
list where I'm just gonna sit in the back and get long march, and you're gonna be real miserable for.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. Oh, we're doing sabotage and moisture evaporators. Excellent, and I've got the bid. Cool.
So we see now in the board here, Luke Cook beginning to attack. The pressure is on him.
Big
because,
yikes.
And that is not the role you want to see, and a block result.
Go Rebels.
Go Rebels! It's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
That was like they just tanked that.
They did.
That was light cover. Just roll the search. Boom.
Yeah, those DLTs are so good in the open.
And
They
I
get,
mean-
they get a lot better when there's no cover involved.
And isn't this the major failing of Krennic? Is that now when you have to move, you don't have Veers to economize you.
Yeah. It's Veers is just so good. Like
Yeah.
I mess around with the generic commanders. The generic Imperial one is like a baby Veers, but getting that extra like extra aim out. Ah, jeez. It's you miss. I didn't think I was going to because he just sits by the ATST and is like, here you go. But even with snipers or anything, like Inspire's great too, man.
I didn't notice that Shui had such a good vantage.
Oh yeah, he's got the whole.
He can see he can see everything from up there.
Yeah, I mean everything can also see him.
Chewbacca's on he's on this cliff on the left side of your screen, folks. If you're able to see it. But him and Chewie are both, or Han and Chewie are both hiding back there, and Han playing so safe, very very safe. And I mean, I think that's kind of true. This is sort of borrowed from Flyboys. I think we mentioned maybe on one of our shows, Mike, is that we didn't want a situation where Luke and Han have to act simultaneously.
Yeah.
In much the same way, we don't want a situation where Sabine and Han have to act simultaneously. They're kind of in the same role.
Absolutely. I think what's going to be really cool about this game, though, is that Sabine has now run away, and Han's just going to cover the exit.
Yep.
He's just going to cover the door.
Yeah, come around the rock, right? Like I've got Gunslinger 2 red.
Yep.
Search the crit, get wrecked.
Yep.
Sabine has done her job. She has snagged the box. She dropped her explosions well, and she's out. And she really doesn't have to do anything for the rest of the game other than be a unit with a strong save sitting on a box.
And it's worth mentioning here that Sorry About the Mess is the only command card in the game that goes before Voracious Ambition.
Yep, correct, because it's not a 1. It doesn't, match, right?
Yep, it's a 0. So it's not like a tie and Krennic just breaks it. It's just there's no tie. So
Hey, Terrain Studio, thanks for joining us in.
I also see Kevin there in the chat. What's up, Kevin? Kev Nobi, the man himself.
I think he's coming tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he'll be here. He says maybe. Maybe.
Pretty sure he's registered. I'll have to double check, but
Yeah,
I think that is the case.
I'm pretty sure he'll be here.
We got about 42 minutes left in this round. Just enough time for us to hopefully finish it and then get the heck out of here for the 9 o'clock close.
Oh, yeah, it's 8 o'clock already, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Flies by.
They're kicking us out early. Hey, time flies when you're having fun. And I got to say, man, they've been putting on a good show so far. Kevin Nobi confirming that he just arrived in Syracuse.
Welcome.
Welcome
to Syracuse.
And that sound you're hearing is the illustrious Brendan France and his amazing...
You mean you don't know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's
I don't know,
a-
but
I don't know
you
what
should
that
keep
is.
it right there because
he's got a under 5-pound small RC toy he's playing with. I don't know what you're talking about.
you might see some of that on the stream.
Yeah, you might see some of that.
I don't know how we got it. It just came
It
that
just-
way.
Yeah, I have no idea what I was about to say.
He's a hobbyist and he is not licensed, so he doesn't have to follow any of the rules. It's cool.
Sweet.
It's now glorified and for all eternity.
Lessons learned.
No, it's
Lessons
cool.
learned.
So, has Bosk activated yet?
This turn, yes. He threw a mine into the middle.
Is that what that is?
He's creeping up there. Yes, that is a Dioxis charge.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be in range to hit anybody than his own units for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I think he might have thrown it just to have it there and
I
not
think
waste it.
everyone's gonna group up behind that rock there and just kind of wait this storm out.
They're gonna fight the final battle. I think is definitely gonna be can the rebels hold against this advancing column.
I mean, double Death Troopers is still nothing to.
No, it's not. But,
Turns out they're good.
I mean, at a bare minimum, Krennic can scream, like, this is my achievement and blow the bomb on his own forces, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we're gonna see it go off one way or another, right? Like,
I love that. I invented the Death Star and the Dioxis charge. Yeah, I love it. I was actually just thinking, like, we were talking about all the suppression that Bosk was dealing, and then I realized, oh, that's just even more value for Compel.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah.
anything that doesn't rally gets compelled.
I mean-
so,
Yes, the value is there, but they're also playing hostile environment.
yeah. So never mind, maybe.
So, like those suppression tokens don't come off very easily.
yeah, they don't.
so
That's why they're hugging rocks so hard.
That is
speaking
why
of
they're-
compel, do you think there's value in the other Death Trooper unit leader?
Oh, the DT. So you're referring to DTF 16?
Yeah.
which is the person.
The non-
It's a heavy weapon.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is.
It's a unique heavy weapon with compel.
It also has leader, I believe.
It does.
Yep.
Which is important that your, compel doesn't get sniped out from underneath you. So I think the answer to that is it might not be the most competitive thing in the world. I do think it's reasonable. I've been trying to run it with Vader. It's
Okay.
kind of like
Yeah, what are you? Who cares?
Krennic's sort of like, I don't want to say a do nothing in a Vader list.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
But it's hard to justify throwing in a commander that doesn't do anything when you're already paying 200 points for
Yeah.
a commander.
Yeah.
So I've been just kind of slotting that leader in just for the compel, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I figured it'd be like. Okay, not like world shaking because that DLT is pretty okay. But
It is. The nice thing with Vader is that your
Yeah.
units can never panic, so you're
Yeah, who
guaranteed
cares,
two
right?
actions
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, it's pretty. I thought about that with Veers, and then maybe having her just move guys around for him because he can inspire.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, just okay, forget it, don't worry about it. But my heart lies with rebels lately.
Yeah. I mean, we're the
I like the underdog.
we're the good guys.
Yeah,
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You're the terrorists.
That's what I've heard. I prefer freedom fighters. Personally.
freedom fighter.
Freedom fighters. I don't know. There's freedom in the Empire.
Freedom to worship the emperor.
Exactly. Actually, that's something that I'm interested to see this weekend. This is kind of, I think, the first major tournament we've had since Worlds.
Yeah, it is.
So seeing how people kind of look at the Worlds meta, which clearly was a lot of sniper teams and stuff, but kind of looking like we saw Palpa make a good showing, and
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
actually really cool. It gave me like you can almost look at any Imperial commander and be like, well, this is okay. It's got like a definite spot that I can see.
for sure, Matt Kish brought a very ingenuitive list to that tournament, and kind of show that you can still win without.
Going to the standbys, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Matt. I swear, man. Matt just plays this game on hard mode. he's like, okay, I see your 11 activations. I'm gonna take 8. And I'm gonna go and win against you with down 3 because I'm just really good and I have the tools to do so with Palpatine and Death Trooper suppression.
No, Zachary, you're super good at this game.
Zachary Berry joining us in the stream chat from the Jetta Journal. What's up, dude?
There you go. Looks like all these stormtroopers are sticking their head out here.
Yeah, they are charging. Basically, this is
They have to, right?
Yeah.
At this point, it's
So what command card is even good here? Like, do you just like total or annihilation looms next turn? Like, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I don't even know what's good. Like, deploy the garrison doesn't really do much for you because you're attacking.
I guess-
mean, it gives Death Troopers aim tokens. for
yeah.
free.
Maybe
That's
it's
nice.
just like action economy.
Yeah, it has a little bit of economy, just to make sure it doesn't fall completely flat.
I have to say, the booth next to us setting up all the Star Wars gear is a good idea next to all the Star Wars other stuff.
Right.
I have to say, I agree.
It's all pointed toward us.
Yeah. We're just looking right. Ooh, speaking of Death Troopers, that is some spicy shot there. 6 hits,
Jeepers.
aim netting him nothing, but still. Who is this? Is this into Sabine? This might still be into. I saw him roll red dice earlier.
I don't think so, but maybe. It looks like he can't see her.
Yes.
Definitely
yeah.
not Sabine.
Okay, blocks 1. Potentially.
This is a Guardian roll, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
That's Guardian. Okay, so he's splitting with Chewie. Chewie is so good at this. This is what Chewie was born to do.
Just take
He was
damage.
born to nerf the alpha potential of DTs.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely Sabine.
That is Sabine. That is one
one, yeah.
miss there.
So I believe Kyle's got at least one medic.
I think that's only Sabine's second wound, though.
No. She
No?
took 3 from
Oh, she
the
took
Death
3
Trooper
earlier.
shot.
Ah, so that's
earlier
her
in the
fourth.
game.
So that's her 4th wound.
And she's likely either 1 wound away from dying or that knocked her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's-
so she's one. I think she's one away. Yeah.
'Cause she took 3 earlier, and that's 4.
Okay.
And then
cool.
she's got 5, so that's 1.
Oh, wow. Okay, so here comes Chewbacca. Chewie, a very angry Wookiee. He's definitely got some stuff he can shoot.
I think you just aim shoot if he
Yeah,
has
he
two
just
actions.
start killing stuff. Those DTs are down there. That middle group of DTs looks right for the picking. Yep, there we go. So this is where Chewie gets the god shot, right? And then Luke blanks out and loses a full squad of DTs.
That seems.
Seems
Bump,
good.
bump, bump.
Seems good.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, 3.
3.
3 total looks like. Oh,
Jeez,
full saves.
man.
You know what that is? That's one dead Death Trooper.
That's one. Oh man. Chewie,
I mean-
you were so close.
You know.
But that speaks exactly what you were saying earlier, Evan, about Pierce and not taking Pierce.
Yeah, right. Like if that had just been
If that was
anything
like
else.
If that was
Yeah.
anything else, it's like, well, guess you try.
Nothing.
Nice
Yeah.
try.
That's actually what feels bad. I like the land speeder. I've been doing a lot of tech with that, but so when you put like 5 solid hits into Death Troopers, they just get rid of all of it. You're like, okay, well that was 170 points. You know, then they just shoot back and they do 2 damage to you. You're like, this seems like a fair exchange. Everything's equivalent here.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Death Troopers are decent against the land speeder, but they're not great.
That is true.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't feel a danger next to them.
Yeah, I don't feel
Um,
threatened by them because I have armor 2 on top of my cover.
It just like man, like you know, but what's nice about how they built that ship is because it's just like a crew spot.
Mhm.
You could add a Pierce guy later, like maybe one. Like it's totally not out of the.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever add crew later on, you know, you're right. The land speeder stands to benefit from that design space in the future. So
That
Yeah.
would
you
be
never know.
frightening.
Yeah,
That would be though.
even just like
wouldn't be
Pierce
frank.
one. I don't know. I think it'd be. If they made it like a 15-point dude who adds Pierce 1 to your pool, he adds like a black die or something instead of the 2 white. I'd be okay because that you're putting so many points into that at
Yeah.
that point. Like you're already.
I think, yeah.
You're
I
so
mean,
committed to like building that thing that you should be kind of rewarded. That's the problem with the ATST, man. You put 250 points that thing. The first time I actually got to play Gordon was at Nova, and that ATST shot at 4 stormtroopers for 3 turns, killed 1. You're just rolling hot, right? Like it just happens, but like they're 4 stormtroopers just out in the open, just like hanging out having a coffee, while this artillery piece is just hammering. I'm like, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's chill.
Yeah, it's like who cares? And so that's when I used to when I started playing the game, I used that exclusively because I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
And then when I realized it wasn't like point wise super competitive, I kicked off it. New pilot comes out, I'm back, but then I still feel that like, oh, you only took 1 out of 10. Okay, right? Like, all right.
Yes.
I think that was a Z6 shot that just came through.
Oh,
Luke
jeez.
Cook just
Luke Cook
just saying no.
Yeah, he does.
with the finger guns.
I mean, to be fair, Luke Cook might be rolling hot here, but I think tactically, Kyle is in a much better position.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm worried about is the giant pile of suppression next to Sabine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's played Symbol of Rebellion yet.
Yeah, I think Symbol is in the tank, so that may be just a nothing.
Yeah.
Symbol is so good.
Yep.
The timing of that recovery, so clutch in situations where she might panic.
Not to mention, that's going to help Kyle out a ton with dealing with hostile environment.
Yes. Yep.
And it has the double-edged sword of when those stormtroopers get around the corner,
Oh,
all of a
yeah.
sudden, hostile environment's going to matter a lot for...
Because that's range 1 from the piece of terrain, right? So that big piece of terrain is just a giant old.
Is it the terrain piece?
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
a terrain piece, wasn't it? Yeah, he just slapped that sucker on it.
I think you have to be able to see the
Oh, the symbol.
token.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it attaches to the terrain, but the token is the source of the aura.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure.
I'd have to look that one up. I haven't actually...
Yeah, I haven't
like,
played with that yet.
I was gonna say, can I put gum on the back and just slap it to the side of things? Like, here we go, it's on the wall there. Don't.
It's kind of what it is, right? It's
Yeah, I
just
mean,
like,
it's
you know,
it's a graffiti, so putting it on the ground seems.
I mean, it's a literal scarecrow.
Yeah, right.
You could replace the graffiti token with the scarecrow.
Yeah, right. Like
with like a
it's-
stormtrooper helmet.
how is Chewbacca still alive?
he just doesn't care.
He's just standing up there. He's like, bring her.
Long hair, don't care.
There you go. That was actually pretty good.
Yikes.
Speaking of pretty good, Death Troopers are.
Jeez.
Woo! Another sixer. I mean, 6 with a name token is actually very average for Death Troopers.
I guess
that's the
so.
scariest
Yeah.
part.
No. Just
I
so we're
mean-
clear, there's no I guess so about it.
I
It
guess
is
so.
statistically
That
average.
is scary.
That's.
And that
Yikes.
is also pretty average. Are those planks over there?
Oh!
That is not statistically
that
average.
is 50%.
That's halvesies. He's got stormtrooper saves over there, boys.
Oh, Chewbacca's down.
Chewie down. Chewie tried so hard.
I just-
got so far.
I cursed him a little bit there. I was like, man, he's staying alive. And then Luke Cook was just like, nope, not
Man,
no
it's
longer.
like you were saying. Oh boy.
Chewie did his job.
Yeah. That is exactly what Chewie's for. He's extra. Did Chewie have any upgrades? I don't think he did.
No, I think he's just
Yeah, he's just.
naked man.
I'm extra wounds.
He's got his T-shirt save, and that's it. Not even the pants save, just T-shirt save.
I think it's tough to justify sinking points into a model you know is going to die every game.
You know, it's tough because I usually put tenacity and then maybe Hunter. Because if I have Han, I like the friendship, the teamwork
the
to
teamwork bit.
hand it over. But I mean, you don't really need tenacity. He's already thrown 4. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more merit to Hunter probably than
Yeah.
tenacity. I would
especially
think.
if you have Han.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause,
that is
like-
a pertinent question. Who is the bounty? Is it
Oh,
Sabine?
that's a good question.
Yo, who's the bounty on?
Sabine.
Bounty's
Ah.
on Sabine,
okay,
ladies and
alright.
gentlemen.
Interesting.
That is on Sabine. I disagree with that play.
I don't know. I think the game state begs to differ with you.
Well, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Would you put it on Chewie?
Well, yeah, 100%. Like, that basically makes Chewie a non-factor. Bosk wrecks Chewie so hard it's not even funny.
Well, so
Well, he's a Wookiee hunter, right? That's
Exactly.
His whole,
like,
that's his whole
like
jest.
Bosk
That's
makes
fair.
Chewie cry.
the issue I think that comes with that is that Chewie is really good at denying bounty.
Yeah, that's
in
fair.
that you can just guardian from another target onto yourself to,
Yeah,
get yourself
that's fair.
killed.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely pluses and minuses. I think you got a very good argument in this fact that Chewie can just sort of on any old damage roll, if he doesn't want to give up the token, he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And that's reasonable to consider in your calculation
For
for sure.
Now, with that being said, he might not have put him up on the hill if he had the bounty.
Yeah,
token.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he's sort of like, shoot me.
Yeah.
What do we get?
We got some command cards. Deploy the garrison versus Legacy of
Legacy.
Mandalore.
3 dodges.
So that's an interesting. I'm not sure that he has.
Oh, does he have enough
the
people left now?
units? I
He
mean,
has at least 1 dodge
think
front to Han.
he's gonna
right?
get 2, right? Because he's gonna put 1 on Sabine and then 1 on.
Yeah, without Chewbacca, I don't think he has a 3rd target.
Because he had an FD turret. Yeah, I think he was playing Han, Chewie, Sabine, FD
Yeah, he's
turret,
got no
5
other-
core.
Wow,
So
that's
I think
unfortunate.
it's just 2 dodges. I mean, it's really more than 2 dodges because she's got nimble.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still,
Luke's saying Chewie did what Chewie does.
So
He's not wrong.
I think that this is actually probably a lot better than Symbol in this situation because Sabine does have Dauntless.
Oh,
yeah.
she is equipped with the dark
Yeah.
saber. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least I think she is.
She's actually not in danger of panicking because she has 3 tokens. She's not in danger of panicking.
She's very close to it.
She's very close.
unless she
to
just
it.
gets wiped off the board here in a shot.
Yeah, that would be.
That is the downside of playing Legacy first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you're sort of at the mercy here.
Yeah, if you play Symbol there, you've got a 50. Well, I guess you don't have a 50-50 because Krennic's
Oh,
really
you're right.
good.
Yeah, he says not
Yeah.
today.
So Legacy's probably the right call.
Deploy, yeah, because he wouldn't win priority anyway.
Yep.
Deploy the garrison looks like it's on Bosk and one of the DTs, and then you have the entourage token there for the other DT. So all of the
Jeez.
big shooters are
Entourage is
tokened
insane.
up. It is really good.
Legit insane.
They also clarified it so now that it works with commanding presence, so you can
Yeah.
entourage at range 4 now
Good golly.
with commanding presence.
It's so good. I'm waiting. That seems like a very Imperial ability.
Oh yes.
I'd like to see. Like, I'm waiting to see if a rebel has something like that.
Never.
Never, just never. Because I just don't. It's so good. I don't understand why there's not a cool counter thing like an insurge. I guess the being able to place your guys anywhere ability
You guys have teamwork.
with one unit.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
No, Jin's got teamwork too.
Jin's got teamwork.
Okay. I guess so.
I'm just saying that is an ability that is presently
Look,
exclusive to
I'm
the
eating
Rebels,
the
just
Snicker
like
bar. You get your
Entourage.
nondescript candy bar, and you like it just as much as mine. Okay, sir. I guess it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Entourage is certainly top.
I guess this Mr.
Top
Good bar
5
is.
keywords.
Dude, it's so good. Holy
Mr. Good
smokes!
Bar.
Especially Death Troopers though, right? Like it's like you're not entouraging fleets, right? You're entouraging
Skadoosh.
Yeah. Somebody was posting on Facebook
Skadoosh.
today. They were like, "Hey guys, what would you think about a unit being printed with Entourage Strike Team?"
Yeah. Please no.
I think it'll be fine.
Please no.
So I believe this is Sabine's defense
Yeah.
roll.
I can't see.
And was that a
What we got? Is that dead Sabine?
No. Oh, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sabine
Oh.
falls.
Did Sabine die?
Oh,
Oh, what was that?
sweet. Sabine's alive.
Sabine's alive. Never mind.
Scratch that.
Oh, really?
He must have medicked her.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, medic. Dirt.
Medicked her twice. Look
Oh,
at that.
damn, okay.
Medic's
Okay.
coming in clutch.
Okay, so update from the board.
Yeah. We were a little wrong.
We were just a little bit off. So there was a moment there much earlier where Sabine took 3 wounds. She was medicked twice. She ended up with 2 wounds on her going into this round. She had 3 suppression on her. She was shot by death troopers.
Yep.
Spent a bunch of dodges.
Yep.
Had light cover. And didn't take any damage. But now she's got 5 suppressions. But that looks like a double rally there. So she's actually fine.
She has.
That's a triple rally.
Oh yeah. Okay. Jeez.
So statistically speaking, that was a little bit dicey. But it worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brian. Even if you've got 4 of the same, it's still good to just put it in the bag. It's I mean, especially if even though it's 4 cores, so it doesn't really matter what you pull. They're going to be core, but just out of like good, like Legion etiquette, if you're going to do a bag, just keep using it. Like, don't stop.
Yeah, if we've learned anything this year, it's
Just
make
mix
sure
them up.
your order tokens are
Even if they're all the same, mix them up.
Yep.
Like that's.
Randomize your stuff.
please.
Because there might be a time when you forget, or like you have one that's out and then you goof, and then it's just bad.
Bad news, Bear Cubs. So I think Sabine's getting out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
ran.
yeah.
She's made an appearance on the bottom left corner of the screen here.
She's ran behind Han. Han's fully prepped and ready to.
Yeah. Han's going to dip in there and be like, now you have to deal with me.
Yeah.
I could see the use of some copious amounts of standby tokens. Look at that. That is
Yikes.
another 6-hit
Jeez.
Death Trooper shot, guys.
Good
It's
golly.
like
It's
it's
blowing
the
him away.
average.
If this was,
Dude,
if
you're the
this-
worst.
I miss my sniper.
Yeah, I
You
bet
miss
you
your
do.
snipers? Yeah.
Otherwise,
Kyle says I miss my.
Oh my! Whoa!
Speaking of things that aren't the average,
I hope your ears were protected there.
Oh.
That was a startlingly good defense roll from Kyle Darnbos there.
Kyle's over here like, man, take your
Wow.
red saves and shove it.
Yeah, man. These were just printed backwards.
T-shirt and pants saves for days.
They're just negative red dice.
Negative red dice.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple saves from Death Troopers have been pretty big. Pretty big.
Rock solid.
Oh, smokes.
All
It's
right.
actually pretty comfortable in here right now.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting a little worried.
Oh, but I mean the heat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Heat's not bad.
I don't know, man. That save roll left me sweating.
Oh, yeah.
Breathless, man.
I'm physically hurt.
Salt test, yeah.
Dude, yeah, honestly, watching Luke's dice most of this game, I don't.
Well, I'm going to go back to this one more time. It's the average.
I know, you say that. So, all right, I get it, but also there's a lot of feeling to it. And even though it's the average to get 6, man, when you're like, good Lord, when will this pain end? Is there any end to this?
Well, the answer is that if you want to end the pain that the Death Troopers are dishing out, you have to take sniper strike teams. but people apparently don't like sniper strike teams these days.
Hey, man,
so this
reckless
is what they're gonna have to
diversion.
deal with. If, you know,
Reckless diversion's pretty good if you got some fleets on your side.
that's also very true. We haven't seen that come out yet, which is actually kind of interesting because this turn would have been a really great turn to play Reckless Diversion.
Yeah, I think he's saving it for the very end there, where to just guarantee that no box carriers can possibly be shot on the final
Yeah,
turn to
yeah.
play, because everybody can see the diverting units.
Mm.
That is like the coolest thing about diversion.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
It's so good on recover.
No, Terrain Studio, we're not complaining. It's just me.
Rebels
It's just me.
change
Sorry.
the station.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I get a little uppity about my dice.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to point you over to AM Talk Radio,
Yeah.
all Empire, all the time.
Death Troopers, hoorah!
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, you know what? To be fair though, I'm happy they're good. Because if they were kind of mediocre, it wouldn't feel flavorful.
Yeah, it would
Right.
actually
Yeah.
be really sad.
Yeah.
Like Pathfinder is like, okay, sure. you know,
If they didn't come out against Death Troopers, they would be probably fine, right?
Yeah.
But the Death Troopers are just so good that Pathfinders just kind of feel
Yeah.
a little lacking. Like being able to place anywhere is cool, and being able to shoot range 4 for Rebels is cool. But you just don't I don't know how to use them yet, I guess.
I think the biggest thing with paths, in contrast to Death Troopers, is that paths kind of punch at their weight or below,
Yeah.
and Death Troopers kind of punch at any weight class.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
The, the Death Troopers really don't care what they're shooting at; they're going to do some damage.
Yeah.
And the Pathfinders are really like, I really want to be shooting at something with white saves or not in cover.
Yeah. Yeah. Like targets of opportunity,
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah.
Absolutely.
and fully equipped, right? The cost is not that different.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not. That's what makes it feel worse to me.
And that's the other thing, is that like a lot of the Pathfinders value is tied up in that infiltrate keyword.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not able to take advantage of that, it can feel like they lose a lot of potency.
I mean, look, the boards today that we've got set out right now, looks like there's a lot of great hiding spots
For sure.
and a lot of sniper spots. Honestly, I think about it more. Maybe I'm just playing on kind of lousy tables, because sometimes I feel like no matter where I put them, they get shot. And I'm like, I know they're supposed to get shot; it's part of the game. But I'm like, geez, I would have thought man, maybe they should have got somewhere else.
There's definitely some valid things to complain about, but the first thing that I always kind of go to when somebody's like, "Oh man, this is unfair," I'm like, maybe you should get some better terrain.
No, yeah, it's not even. I think it's unfair. It just, I guess again, that feels bad.
Yeah.
Where I'm just kind of just saying how I feel when I play. Okay, granted, the first time I ever played Pathfinders, I brought 3, and Jay took flame troopers with frag grenades and recon intel and
Yeah.
removed 2 groups of them in the first turn.
Those are like their worst enemies.
And I'm like, oh, he's like, he's laughing, and I'm like, oh, thanks, buddy, as I pull him up.
The biggest thing with Pathfinders is that kind of finding the sweet spot between infiltrating close enough but not too close.
yeah.
Because I mean, I'm sure in that situation, those flamethrowers did a number on your.
Oh yeah, it wasn't good. It was a bad day in LA. Let's put it like that.
Well, I will give Luke's list credit. It spews some serious heat.
Yeah, geez.
So this is actually something interesting. When we're not playing with sniper strike teams, all of a sudden we've got multiple squads that are spewing 6 average hits a turn. That's, I mean,
It is the average.
it is the
That's
average.
the average.
But that's a lot of firepower, and strike teams, while they're good, they can't really make up that sort of firepower.
Yeah,
over the course of the game.
Endless, you put it really well that they're very binary.
Yeah.
Right? It's like 1 or 0, right? So either I got something or you get nothing.
Yeah, so they're basically like, if you're shooting heavy cover, it's like a pseudo coin flip.
Yeah, and I you said that, and I really took it to heart when I was thinking about it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that does make a lot of sense. Because I for a while, last event I went to, I just brought 2 Wookiees, land speeder, and I just goofy list because we got a lot of new guys, and I just wanted to triple sniper them down. And man, I did not care for the Wookiees all that much. You know what? It's probably me just playing them at this point, because this was the first time I ran them, and the first guy I ran had Luke. I'm like, okay, well, you don't want to be around Luke. Second guy had Vader, and I'm like, okay, well, that's out too. But then I got into a scruff with some Imperial guards. Oh, that was pretty. Who shot that?
That looked like a Z6
That looked
shot.
like a Z6.
Wow.
Now, notably, all those surges didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked like a lot of paint, and then yeah.
Well, at least they won't do anything until the Rebel veterans.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I'm actually so stoked to make it just a Hoth
Yeah.
team to put together as a fun list with a speeder, tauntaun, everything from Hoth, right?
Yeah.
We're finally at that point where we have all the stuff, right?
Those are really, really weird releases, right? They had half Endor, half Hoth. I would have thought they would have went all in on one at the beginning just to get that theme down, and then said oh hey, the next wave's gonna be right, whatever the movie is.
Why wouldn't we get?
processed by film?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we get vets and snow troopers together?
Right, that
They're
seems.
They both are apparently core units, so
Yep.
The boss
You're right.
says
The
that
boss
we got
man
14
talking about 14
minutes,
minutes
left.
remaining. Yeah, that's true. This round might wrap up before
Hard stop at 9.
before
Okay.
too long. Hard stop at 9 to clean up. So. Oh, look at this. So Jay, I wish I could show this on camera.
Yeah, we can.
Can you put that in front of a camera, please, Jay?
There it is.
That is an amazing Northeast Open T-shirt that Jay Shalansky is showing off there.
It looks pretty
That
good.
Looks amazing. This is just one example of some of the great swag you can get if you. Huh? Oh, they're
Well,
rolling dice.
we were looking
All right.
at you,
We were looking
guy.
at
Boss
awesome
man's
t-shirts.
Come
like,
on, what are you doing?
Go back to videotape.
Jeez.
Hey, man.
This guy.
Hit and run. Look at this. He's like, look at my T-shirt. Now get back to work.
Yep. Oh boy. So, Kyle and Luke, this is probably going to be the last turn of the game.
Do we have to?
13 minutes left in the regulation.
So, guys, this is what happens when you don't manage your time properly.
Yeah, look at us not managing.
Gotta get that 60 minutes stopwatch sound.
I mean, tell you what,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
guys want to play Speed Legion for 12 minutes, we can go another round.
Well, we have to be packed up an hour by now, right?
yes, allegedly.
We've got 13 and a half minutes left on the clock. It's hard dice down.
You guys should just play by averages. Just be like, okay, shoot them, and then like just subtract the averages to determine wounds.
That would actually be really interesting to like
Just take the dice out of
simulate a
it.
game like that and see how
yeah,
it goes.
yeah. Just like if everyone rolls absolutely average, what happens?
Yeah.
That would be kind of a neat simulation.
I sort of feel like I know what happens.
Yeah. It's not pretty.
It's not pretty for a certain faction.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't,
You know, I think what's funny, we're doing that, but then as soon as droids come out, they're like, we don't save on anything.
Yeah,
we don't hit on anything.
I mean, when
Yeah.
you've got like, 7-8 man core
Yeah.
units, like, do you care if you don't save?
If they're all throwing like white, kind of. Like I said, I like to have guys left
Somebody
to shoot.
was making this analogy earlier today, and I was like, so a Wookiee warrior squad, 75.
Oh, this was you making it to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing it up. And I'm pretty sure B1s are what?
36 points.
Okay.
per
yeah.
squad.
As far as
So-
we know, 36 for the base.
So we're looking at 36 points for 6 white saves, no search, versus 75 points for 9 white saves, no search.
Oh, they called it.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna change.
Did you win, my champion?
I mean,
Who won?
Who won? This guy.
Kyle
All right.
Dornbos
Kyle Dornbos is your winner, ladies and gentlemen.
takes the grudge match.
Yes.
My
Against
assassin
Luke
has
Cook.
completed the mission.
It's a grudge match.
It's a grudge match, and that's how it will be.
Yep.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
So he stole the box, he absconded like the rebel thief, like the scoundrel, the notorious scoundrel that he is.
Absolutely. Though he's not playing that card. in
He's
this
not
deck.
playing that card in this deck, unfortunately. But he grabbed that box and ran away with it. Sat on 3 boxes.
As every
and,
good rebel should do.
As every good rebel should do.
All right. Well, let me. I'm gonna mess around with some waiting on screens while we're signing
Yeah,
off. and-
Let's do some.